Hey everybody, I'm Kelsey and this is Cassidy and Katie. And thanks so much for coming to our YouTube channel where we talk about the course Write Your Way to Freedom. A lot of people have a lot of questions and we have three different unique answers from three people who have actually taken the course. So we hope that you find this information helpful. Feel free to browse all of our questions in the notes below. And if you have any other questions, feel free to leave them and we'll try and get to them in one of our next recordings. Today we're going to be talking about, do you work more than 40 hours a week? I can kick this one off and just say that, guys, I don't know. I know that freelancing is like this glamorous, and you don't have to work 40 hours a week and you'll be at the beach in Honduras drinking a pina colada with your laptop in your lap. There's no Wi-Fi there. Nobody's doing that. Anyways, I think for me, it's less about I don't stress out about the amount of hours that I work because I like work. I love what I do. I think it's super interesting and really exciting. And a lot of times I do think I work more than 40 hours a week. I'm a lot more fulfilled than I ever was. So I think it's more about it being a personal decision for you and less about stop worrying about all the 100K box, get rid of it. The 40-hour week box, get rid of it. The 30-hour week box, get rid of it. You don't need any of those boxes. You can work less if you want to. Will you make more than you do now? Maybe. We don't know what you make now. You also might not. We just don't know. So that's my advice. Not the answer anyone wanted. So someone tell them what they want to hear.
I love it. I will say, having two kiddos, I feel like it is a little bit easier for me to clearly delineate how many hours I work a week, to Kelsey's point, not because I'm I only work this many hours. I'm not a morning person. So I don't even get myself ready until my kids are out the door and on the bus. So by the time I actually sit down to work, it's closer to 9:30, 9:45, 10 if I'm going to a coffee shop. And then by then, as far as actual creative writing, I mean, the idea that you're going to sit and creatively write blogs for 8 hours a day, no, I have maybe 3 good hours of writing productivity in me. And then in the afternoon, I'll do some admin work, or maybe I'll batch some Instagram posts, or you're working on other parts of your business. But I would say, because of my schedule, I don't have more than 6 hours a day to actually devote to sitting at my laptop working. When I was starting and working my way through Write Your Way to Freedom, and also working on those first client things, I was working way more than 40 hours a week, to your point, Kels, because I loved it. I was so excited. It was I was excited to work on my websites on Saturdays and to work on, things after the kids went to bed. And so I think that, to me, is such a big perk of getting to be your own boss. Like you said, it's not about the number of hours you work and having this schedule. It's about the fact that if my kids don't have summer camp for a week this summer, maybe I work 2 hours a day. And then maybe the next week when they're at summer camps, I work full days and then I work in the evenings, or, just getting to really be in control of what that schedule looks like. I wonder if, when people ask, do you work 40 hours a week? I wonder if maybe the question they're asking is is it a crazy hustle forever to be a freelancer? And I would say, if you set up a business with the right kind of pricing and you go after the right kind of clients, no, it is not forever a hustle like it is in the beginning. You can continue to make really good money as you pare back the amount of hours you work.
So the better question is, are you on the verge of burnout? I think that's probably what people want to know.
Super
Do
smart.
you regret freelancing?
Quit the 9 to 5 to work 24/7, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how it feels a little bit in the beginning sometimes. And then I think that's the freelancer's journey, right? Is you're so excited and you work 60 hours a week because you're living your best life. And then you keep working those hours because you're new and you're not charging enough money to work less and still make money. And then you hate everything and you want to burn it all down, and you go take a 7-day nap, and then you figure out that you have to do something different, or you're going to go back and get a 9 to 5. And so I think that is just the trajectory that every freelancer and new entrepreneur takes. And I think the degree of burnout people allow themselves to get to varies, but I think that's just part of the process of letting the pendulum swing and kind of recenter itself and find that middle that feels really good. And that's different for everybody.
Yeah, I totally agree with all of this. Every week is so different. And yes, there are weeks when I might work 25 or 30 hours a week. And it's probably because I was either really fast at writing all of my assignments that week, or I had a lighter week, so I'm still waiting on clients to get me assignments. But then there are other weeks where I do work at least 40 hours a week for different reasons. Maybe, like you all said, I'm like really passionate about this new thing that I'm implementing into my business. So, like, every waking hour, I'm just like super on fire to like write it and create that thing and do the work. And then other times I work more than 40 hours a week because I've overbooked myself and, things are taking longer than anticipated. And those are like the not so fun weeks where you're working more than 40 hours. But then, as Katie mentioned, you just try to ease the pendulum back to create like more of this balance. So there will definitely, maybe, possibly be times in your freelance business where you're working at least 40 hours. Sometimes those will be like really energizing weeks because you're doing things that you're really passionate about. Other times it'll be a hard lesson learned and you'll figure out how to make sure that you don't have that much work to do moving forward. But also, like, your freelance business is what you make it. That's like part of the reason why people start freelancing is you want more freedom to structure your days how you want. And if you go into it similar to Katie's situation where you're like, I have X amount of hours per week to devote to this thing, then that's what you got, But there is this saying that like you fill the amount of time that you give yourself. And that is so true, especially in a freelance business. Like, if you don't have kids and you don't have many responsibilities outside of your freelance business, it's really easy to get into this groove where you're working at least 40 hours a week because you don't have other things vying for your attention. In my personal experience, I have definitely had periods like that. And then it's taken me realizing, like, okay, this is not something that I want to keep doing, like, for the rest of my freelancing career. So let me put some boundaries in place and figure out how to give me like more free time back, more blank space on my calendar. But that's kind of the beautiful thing about freelancing. Like, it is this journey and you're constantly like evolving and tweaking it and doing all of these things. So yeah, just go into it thinking like, what do I want my freelance business to look like? Am I okay with working 40 hours a week sometimes? Do I never want to work 40 hours a week? It's more just a matter of like building your business around this vision that you have for like what you want it to look like.
To touch on that further, Cass, I think that that's like the crux of it is no one's telling you how many hours you have to work. That's on you. Like, and you can't, like, if you're working too many hours, that's on you. If you are working too little hours and you're not making enough, that's on you. It's a lot of radical accountability.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And when you were talking about like the boundaries you put in place, I thought of Wendy Bixby is like someone who joined Write Your Way to Freedom pretty early. And she actually has created a few modules for the course as Sarah has expanded it. But she was someone who right off the bat said, I want to work 10 to 12 hours a week, period. That is all I'm giving to this thing. I also want to make a shit ton of money, but we'll see how it goes. And so her boundary wasn't like, this is how much money I need to make. It was, these are the hours that I'm willing to work. And she built a gorgeous, thriving business from like 9 to noon is what she works every day. And at most, I think. And she, talks about it in one of the modules of the course, but she, I think, was making pretty steady, like 5-6K months in the early years of her business. And now I think she's like making steady 10 to 12,000 a month, because again, as a freelancer, you get to choose how you're paid. And Sarah really encourages, like, you're not paid by the hour. You're not someone's employee. You're providing a service that has a value attached to it. And as you get better and faster, that service that took you 10, 12 hours might only take you 2. And so like, you get to condense your time down and still be making the kind of money that you deserve to be making because of the value that you're providing. So again, it's hard to escape that like 40-hour work week mindset that all of us have. And it's, again, mindset. We talk about it in every video, but like, there's a lot of mindset work there to kind of overcome those feelings of, is this a legitimate job if it's 10 hours a week, or, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of work to do there.
Yeah, I love that Wendy had that boundary from the get-go, because my mentality was, I have 40 hours to fill. Let's fill it with as much stuff as we can.
Totally.
We won't stop until we're at least 40, maybe more.
I know. So my mom won't be mad. I'll just be on Canva over here creating graphics no one needs so that I can feel like I'm working a 40-hour week.
Yeah, I love that.
Thanks so much for tuning into our video today. I'm Kelsey, and this is Katie and Cassidy. And together we talk about what it's like to be in the program Write Your Way to Freedom to help you determine if it's the right fit for you or not. If anything from the videos today resonated with you or made you decide like, yes, this is it, I want to sign up, it would mean the world to us if you used our referral code. For full transparency, we do get a little bit of a monetary kickback every time somebody signs up that we split between the three of us. And we also make a $100 donation to World Central Kitchen, which you can find out more information on via the link in our notes. So thanks so much for tuning in and check out the rest of our questions. We've probably answered the one that you have. Bye.